Alright, it's going to be a demo review for Cactus on our 5th Scrim. So, overall impressions during the Scrim was that you were doing really well. Like, you might be the most experienced player on the team. It's like somewhere between you and the pocket. And I don't know a ton about demo, so I'm not going to be able to critique like sticky placement as much or stuff like that, but I will try to give advice just in terms of like the situation and in relation to the rest of the team and anything I catch. So that was good mid, obviously. Did what you needed to do. This demo got a lot of damage out. I mean, yeah, the flank, I don't remember if you called that you were going through drop down, but you kind of got cut off. For the most part, we didn't come in through there at the same time. So, like in the future, probably be, more like you could what you could do. Obviously one of our scouts could follow you on their own, but you could also like ask for someone to come with you, or tell us to push. But you kind of went off without any support, and so obviously didn't have any support, and without comms, or without being able to like listen to what the comms situation was. I'm not sure exactly what happened there on comms. Yeah, solid play here. Nothing really went poorly. Okay, yeah, I have no idea why they were holding there, but yeah, like, they made the mistake of not really having anyone, so, like, covering right side, so we just walked in and, got the point, basically, for free. I don't know why you took fall damage there, but anyway. So, yeah, your mids, like, for pretty much the whole scrim were, like, really solid. Just, spamming them. Not a lot to say, really. I remember this, actually. You were yelling at one of the scouts to get in and finish off their demo. You could, one thing comms related, you could be a little less aggressive with your, like, comms to your own teammates. I mean, generally we're going to hear you the first time. You also, like, another thing is you did a good job of calling throughout the game. Like, your calls were solid, so. Yeah, not a ton to say about this. I remember, yeah, this is just like an even Uber hold. So, I don't know, like, I guess you could possibly be a little more aggressive here. Like, not super, just like walking closer to the door. Probably need better heals, and yeah, they dropped there, and that's why we got this. But, like, you didn't need to be more aggro, so that was just, like, solid. Not a lot to say. about that game. I can tell you know your rollout well too. I've practiced it a fair bit. So yeah, they were like really late on this mid. And I do like how you put some stickies up on like the ground where their scouts would like to run up to get to high ground to try and deny them. That was good. Yeah, and we had a scout up there. There should have been a scout on you. But like at the same time, like, it's easy to blame other people, say like X or Y should have been with me for that. But at the same time, like, your team has their own stuff to worry about. They don't always know that you need help, or so that was more of the pocket scout's fault. But if you're gonna aggress on the point, like, you need to make sure you've got some backup so that a scout doesn't run in, right? Or, you know, just make a call like, I'm aggressing on the point, right? That way you get, because that way you'll generally get a scout with you, and then I'll know that you probably need some heals or want some overheal. So that's just something to think about. Seems like it worked out, but I don't know if going around and through... Okay. Yeah, I don't know if going around and through drop down was the best choice, especially because you did it alone. Like, obviously I can't follow you there, and I'm not going to. Even just like if you walk that far towards drop down, since there's another door, like, I'm not gonna be able to follow you through to do that. And you didn't have a scout with you really, so you just kind of fell down and like to the side of their push. I don't know exactly what your plan was. Maybe you wanted to like loop back and rendezvous with us, or you thought we would be able to take it, but like, going off on your own, not a good decision there. Alright, so solid hold here. Again, I can't really say a lot about your positioning because about like where you're placing stickies, because I don't play demo, but I don't see any problems. So I don't remember. I think I might have been forced there. And that was actually a really good call, like blowing their Uber combo up. Yeah, so I went down. If I remember correctly, I was forced from, maybe I wasn't. There's one situation on second where I was forced by a scout who flanked us. Obviously that wasn't on you, because like we should have our people covering our flanks. But as far as that push went, you got out alive, so that was good. And yeah, I mean, you did a pretty good job of doing damage and whatnot. I really liked the way you put the stickies on the ground and blew the Uber up into the sky, because that negated like a second or two of their Uber. That was too aggressive. You didn't have any like that was like okay, so I think I was too far back to heal you. So that was like kind of on me for not like being there to heal you. But at the same time, I'm always going to have more people to heal than just you, and I'm not going to be able to stand on your butt the whole time. So, like, yeah, you were in that situation. You were too aggressive. The other thing is, like, you have to be. Let me pause for a sec. So when you have a, like, you probably already know this, but when you have a door like this where it opens up and then there's like walls around it and it's not just a passageway, obviously, like, if you get hit by a rocket, you can get blown up into like the top of the door or the side of the door or whatever and not be able to get back through it. So as a medic, like, that's something I have to be aware of, because if I get hit by one rocket after walking through that type of door, I'll often get stuck up by the top of the the door if I try to surf. So you have to be, like, pretty careful when deciding to go through that, especially if there's going to be explosive classes on the other side, because then you can get, like, juggled up or trapped. So I'm going to actually pause for a sec. Okay, so yeah, basically you were too aggro there and you didn't have backup. If you wanted to, like, aggress like that, you should have called that, like, I'm going to try and walk a little in there, or into like the connector area, lobby, I guess. But yeah, like, when, like, this door here is another example. Really, like, most doors are this way, where you walk through them, and if you get blown up into the air, you'll hit the top of the door and won't be able to back up through it again. And then, like, a soldier can just shoot the wall next to you or whatever and kill you. So yeah, you need to be more careful, and you can't just, like, walk up like that, especially because their whole team was there. As far as this mid, pretty solid so far. At one point, you walked on the right side of Shack, and I mean, I guess it wasn't that bad, but you could have gotten caught out. That death there wasn't your fault. That was on our scouts and Roamer for not covering kitchen, because they need to be doing that. And I think that was our scouts' biggest issue, was not covering flanks during the game. You know, on that mid, like, the roamer wants to take high ground, and so you gotta have a scout covering kitchen. Alright. I guess their demo just put some stickies below you and dead it or something, I don't know. You weren't, yeah, so in that situation, you kind of tunnel visioned on this corner and there and, like, didn't think about your flank. And, you know, it's kind of reasonable to assume you've got a player covering you here, but you can't always assume that. Like, they might die, someone might go under, right? So there, like, you could have probably checked your side a little more. And another thing is, like, in that situation, that, not like this mid, obviously, but what I was just talking about, if you're gonna, like, main call, then you need to have really, really good situational awareness, and that means looking around a lot. Yeah. I think, we got flanked, and so I died here. Yeah. So, yeah, I went down. So when you know that I went, like, whenever I go down on mid, then it's almost guaranteed that, like, we can't hold second. I'm sure you already know this, but if we lose mid, or lose med on mid and they don't, it's almost impossible for us to hold second. And so, like, while they weren't aggressive enough, if they had been more aggressive, you probably would have gotten killed for, like, trying to set up a second there. And yeah, again, that was kind of an example of you. You didn't really go off without the team, but you just kind of went into an area where you didn't have teammates. And honestly, like, you didn't have a lot of options because they Ubered right in front of you. Maybe, like, you could have surfed away. But yeah. you just got caught out alone. Yeah, alright. It worked out okay, but that far left wasn't a great place to be playing because, again, like, you saw, like, the soldier did it. He saw you're sort of caught out alone there. The only way for you to, like, hold on, I'm gonna pause. So in this situation, or in this, like, spot up here, I always, as the medic, especially because I'm you know, really important and people are constantly trying to pick me, I always have a way out of a situation, right? I always, like, if I'm in a certain spot, I want to know that I have a place to go if I get bombed or someone gets really aggro towards me or whatever. So, like, this spot here, you don't have a way out, you know? Like, especially when they're on the point and you're here, it's super easy for a soldier to jump. A soldier did jump. Fortunately, our team was aggro enough that our pocket got out and covered you. And I was coming down and I was able to give you some heals as well. But, like, just be careful of cornering yourself. There's not really anything that you can do here in that like in that area that you can't do over here. Like, you don't get any better sight lines or any advantage for standing over there, whereas here, you basically have the same sight lines, but then you also have this door that you can get out of if you need to. So, that's just like a little bit of positioning to think about. Like, don't corner yourself if you don't need to. Alright, so good job dodging the sniper. You reacted pretty quickly to him being there. Yeah, I didn't give you a flash, so you took a bunch of damage. I'm still working on Ubers. Like, that's one of the weaker parts of my game. That was a good flick, nice. But I was trying to take in, like, a soldier and a scout there, which is, like, pretty common. So, in the future, I think I'm going to try and call, like, who I'm taking in with the Uber more. But if you had waited just a second behind the Uber so that the Uber was in a little more, you wouldn't have taken the spam that was going towards the Uber. So, good body block on that. I don't know if it was intentional, but it worked. Yeah, I don't know what their demo was doing, but we got him. That could have gone badly if a soldier, like, up top knew how low you were. He could have easily bombed you and killed you, or not even, like, had to bomb you, just shot some rockets. But it worked out. Yeah, I don't know where that soldier came from either. He just kind of ran in. Nice shot on that scout. Although we should have had, like, a scout or something down there. Yeah, and I remember that too. Me jumping over the sticky. I'm not using my crossbow enough, so I'm working on that as well. And obviously jumping over stickies is never a thing a medic should do. Yeah, solid Uber push. We just had advantage, so. One thing like, not related to that push or anything, but even though, like, you're gonna be most of the focus, or, like, a lot of the focus of my heals because you're the demo, like, I can't always heal you, and calling for heals multiple times doesn't make me more aware of, like, the fact that you need healing. So if you need a heal, tell me, and, like, I'll generally get to healing you pretty quickly, but sometimes there's a scout that needs an arrow, or someone else who's got lower health than you or whatever that I need to heal first, so. Like, don't spam comms with yelling for heals, is the point. Alright, so yeah, solid mid again. Like, I haven't seen anything wrong with your mids at all. They're really good. It's a good choice to not go further than you did there, because you could have gotten caught out. Since it worked out well, you were fine. I don't remember exactly what our play was here. It looks like kind of a dry push, but yeah, I don't know. Okay, yeah, we got, so I think we had some people push around the other side and they got fragged, or they just got fragged in here. And okay, so here I guess you're going to like trying to kill their med, maybe. But yeah, so like as a demo, you're not like you had an advantage or like an opportunity to get their med there, but as a demo that's a really hard thing to do. You're not pick class or like a flank class. What actually happened during that play is I got forced. You and I were, or like I was backing out through Saw. There wasn't anyone with me except you, and then you went around the other way. And so then coming through, like I'm coming out through Saw, and they just had a soldier and a scout on me, and so I had to pop here. Or they had, I don't know if they might have just had a scout. Anyways, if you had stayed with me, I might not have been forced, right? And at the same time, you got nothing for that play around because demo, like, you shouldn't be going for like a flank really, especially because you not only did it leave your medic alone, who got forced, but then you didn't get anything out of it, and like I don't think demo's really ever gonna get anything out of a play like that. So anyway, the other thing is, like, if demo goes for a flank play like that and then dies, like, it's not like demo. If you think of it like chess, like, I don't know if you know the point system in chess, but demo's worth more as a character than like a scout or a soldier, right? So if a roamer goes for like a sack play or a flank play on the med and dies, it's not a huge deal, like you can still hold a point or whatever, but if the demo goes down, then they've got a pretty good advantage in any team fights. So yeah, I guess the point is, like, that wasn't a good play. And okay, solid job taking that scout out. I don't know. I think he came from under, maybe. But yeah, we had a bit of a problem with flanking, or our flanks, like, getting flanked there. That was a solid surf. Yeah, that was like really well played on your part. You were like really aggro, or aggro is like as much as you could be and still be safe in that situation. And then when they Ubered on you suddenly, which we weren't anticipating, you still like stayed alive and surfed. And yeah, here, I think we just had a wave of spawns, or maybe, I don't know, maybe some people were off alone, but nothing you really could have done. Like, I got forced. Yeah, and there was that door again. You saw you like got caught on the door for a sec there. Like, you really got to be careful with those, because you can like easily get yourself wrecked by an explosive class. Okay. Yeah, I don't... Our pocket was up, so he should have been the one to come back and get me there in that situation, but whatever. Second scoreboard. Yeah, again, this position, like, it's easy to corner yourself. Although that one wasn't as big because you had, you know, the whole combo was there, pocket, medic, etc. So you were safe being that aggro. Good job denying them this area. They really wanted it. Although then, like, they weren't aggressive on it and you kind of just like backed out. I don't know if you wanted heals or something, but you were at full health. So you probably could have just like sat in big door and like harassed them as they tried to get in for a while until they like finally got in. As far as the push, like, yeah, not much you could have done there. They mainly just had a better Uber than us, and we kind of bunched up on point, and so we were just like food for explosive classes. Would have been helpful if you had like gotten back a little quicker to like sticky point and whatnot, but I don't know if you even could have done that. So all right. Okay. Yeah. You were a little bit far forward there. Like, again, that's another, like... Pause for a sec. Like, you standing here versus you standing, like, a bit back on the point, you don't really get any extra firing latitude here, especially because all your targets were right there. Like, you can basically hit them the same amount from a little back. Being a little back, however, covers you from this angle. And it also makes it, like, it puts you at a further distance from their scouts, which you want. And it like, a scout, like, hitting you there when they're, like, right there, like, that's not hard for them to do. Whereas if you're back here, like, our team was kind of around this area. Like, just a few feet. Like, you didn't die for it, but you probably would have against a better team. And that was a really solid chase on that demo. So, yeah, on mid, like... just a little bit back in positioning, but other than that, like, solid mid. Okay, so their combo was way out of position there. I don't know, like, again, I don't know a ton about demos, so I don't know if you could have done more and, like, put stickies behind them or whatever, but it seemed, like, pretty solid. And... yeah, you definitely backed up more than you needed. So, okay, we went down one, or like they went down one, we went down two. I think we could have stayed in on that, and you kind of backed up further than you needed to, and then we all ended up backing out. You had like overheal there, so like you didn't, you backed up like to the level of kit and stuff, so that wasn't really necessary. And then the other thing is, okay, I need to pause to catch up. So, yeah, on that situation there, you had overheal and you kind of backed up all the way into yard, or almost a yard, like pretty far back, which wasn't really necessary. I think we could have stayed in that fight, but, like, even disregarding that, after that, you, like, their combo was coming this way when you came out. I'm not sure you knew that. Maybe we could have called it better, or maybe someone else like needed to call it better. But then you like came over here, and then when you went back there, they had pushed into there, and if you had stayed down there, you probably could have denied them, or at least helped deny them, right? So, just like a little bit of too much passiveness there. Here, I think, yeah, I got forced by a flanking scout, I'm pretty sure. So. We got out though for the most part. Yeah, so that, even though I pretty sure I got forced, worked out fine. Solid play here. Not really much to say. And yeah, I don't know what that sniper was doing. I don't know why you didn't get heals there either. I should have been more on that. Maybe I was healing some with lower health. I don't know. You did have 100. Okay. So we Ubered. Yeah, that was a really smart play, jumping in. So you had full heal, or full health, and Ubered and everything, so. You didn't get their med, but, like, that wasn't really your fault. It was a smart play to do that anyway. And there you just kind of got, like, hit by some random spam and went down really quick, so. Like, your positioning wasn't bad. It just wasn't a lot you could do. One thing to think about as demo, if you're at lower health, and like they're gonna a lot of the times be spamming at like like myself and our pocket and stuff. So if you're at low health and you don't want to eat a lot of spam, then you don't want to stand near like a close clump of us, like our combo, or like at least stand just like out of splash range, right? Really solid job like driving them out of this house here. And yeah, you saw like it was a really good call on your part to trap their sniper in, and there, like you had 130 health, right? Oh yeah, that was a solid drop on the med too. So I'll pop. Yeah, or actually we're gonna win, so I might as well just talk. Like while we were in lobby, you had 130 health, but felt the need to like stand still behind a wall and wait for heals. Like you can still like continue to shoot at them, like, or like peek the wall and stuff while you have 130 health and while I'm still walking in. And the other thing is, as far as like crossbows go, if you're strafing but you're not strafing relative to me, I can still hit you with a crossbow, right? So if you think about that situation in the lobby, you're behind that wall. If you're strafing like out from the wall shooting and then back behind the wall again, right? You know, relative to the other team, you're moving, right? Because they're in front of you. Since I'm to your side and you're strafing side to side, like as far as crossbow aim goes, like I can shoot it wherever you are. And since I'm to the side of you and you're strafing side to side, it doesn't really change my ability to hit you with a crossbow. You're effectively standing still to me. So you probably could have been a little more aggro there, but really that's not a big deal. And yeah, most of the stuff during that demo was like nitpicky stuff. You made no like big errors. Maybe okay. I'd say the biggest mistake you made was the flank play that you did on that second, where you know after that I ended up getting forced. You didn't get anything out of it. Almost died. Like that was probably the biggest like mistake you made during the scrim. But for the most part, like everything I said, like, or you know, I definitely had to nitpick to like find stuff to critique. For the most part, you did great. So yeah, good job.